Feels so weird. I feel like I haven't filmed a video in like forever. It's been like a week, so maybe that's it. I don't know. Sup, dudes? I didn't really feel like straightening my hair today, so ignore my ends. So sorry for that. My natural hair is just like it's wavy, but it's like not structural wavy. It just kind of waves wherever the frick it feels like it. It's not like a pretty wave, it's like a chaotic wave, which I mean describes my life. But so this video, if it seems scattered and not very well put together, that's because it is. I literally had this done Sunday and it is now later in the week, so it's like still brand new. Usually I write everything down that I want to like film in this book, like all my ideas, like with like little like bullet points before I start filming, because if I don't, then I don't remember everything that I want to say, and that's a problem, as anybody could imagine. But I didn't do that today. I didn't do it. So I'm gonna try to go for my memory. I don't know how well that's gonna happen because it was like a three-hour experience and a lot was said. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna remember everything, but I'm really gonna try to hit like the major points. But yeah, I guess let's just get into it. I had Reiki healing done on me for the first time on Sunday. My mom's healer friend, I've told you guys about her before. Maybe I should just give her a name. I will call her Kelly. Her name is Kelly. It's not really Kelly, but I'm gonna call her Kelly. So every time before I've said my mom's medium healer friend, that's been Kelly. So like 6 videos later, we're gonna give her a name. Her name is Kelly. She came back from Arizona, and she's now here, and she was like, do you want Reiki? And I was like, okay. I knew kind of what it was, but I really didn't know like 100% what it was. I want to look up the definition of Reiki before I start spewing nonsense at you. If you look up Reiki healing on Google, the definition says, Reiki is a form of alternative medicine called energy healing. Reiki practitioners use a technique called palm healing or hands-on healing, through which a universal energy is said to be transferred through the palms of the practitioner to the patient in order to encourage emotional or physical healing. The person who's getting it done on them lays on a table, or I don't know if it's done sitting. I was laying down on a table, so I'm not sure. The healer just kind of places their hands on their forehead and uses spirit guides and whatever to kind of just see what's going on with that individual, see what problems they have. A lot of things like past lives, parallel timelines, parallel universes, like childhood issues, present issues, future issues. A lot of that stuff is brought up and cleared. What the healer does is just kind of sends positive energy, I guess. Let me just break down everything that happened, starting from like the moment I walked in to the moment I left. I went over to her house, and when I walked in, like the front side room, which I think would probably be like a formal living room or something, was turned into a Reiki office, I guess you would call it. I don't know. She had this like big long table in the center of it, which it wasn't a table. I keep saying table, but it was like, you know, like a table you sit on when you go to a doctor's office. Like not like with like the cabinets and stuff underneath. Like a cushioned table from a doctor's office. Like it was one of those. And she had crystals, like crystals all over her room. She had pictures of like gods and goddesses and figurines of like Buddha. She had plants all over, just very calming things. And then books like all over this chair, like about like angels and crystals and healing and just a bunch of different books about stuff like that. She said that she wanted to tell me a little bit about like what everything was before she got into it. She basically explained like what was going to happen, that I was going to lay on the table, she was going to put her hands on my head and just kind of go through things that needed to be brought up, things that she saw that I was struggling with or that I've struggled with in the past or in past lives. And then she just kind of explained to me her whole journey with Reiki, like starting out, classes that she went through, like how she started out from like knowing absolutely nothing and now she can like see and sense and do all these like cool things with energy. At the end of the day, everything is just energy. That's it. It's nothing else. This is energy, I'm energy, that's energy. Like it's all energy. Good or bad, everything is energy. She told me all these things about the world and about people and how the world is not really in a good place right now, and a bunch of other practitioners that she has met have all like kind of come to the conclusion that anyone my age or like a little bit or older, so maybe like 24, 25 and younger, everybody like those ages are all reincarnated angels who have come back to save the planet from what it's heading towards. 2019 in itself is going to be a difficult year, but she said that 2020 for everybody is going to be a very difficult year. Like a very, very difficult year, like some shit's gonna go down apparently. I don't know exactly what it is. She didn't really specify. Yeah, but I guess just the session was like the worst transition ever. With the healing, when it came to healing, she told me to lay on her table, she covered me in a blanket, and she just kind of put her hands on my head. I think I was laying there for probably an hour and a half. I think she talked to me before for like an hour, and then I think I was laying on the table for an hour and a half. So she just kind of like started out with her hands on my head. I keep doing this, but like that's kind of like what was happening. She just had her hands on my head. So she said that every issue that people have is an issue that they dealt with in the past, like whether that be a past life or everything that happened in a past life is why you're the way you are right now. So for instance, she saw something with darkness. She saw that I have an issue with darkness, and she said, "What is this issue?" And I said, "I have been afraid of the dark ever since I was a little girl." And like, I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm 22 years old. I'm about to turn 23 and I'm terrified of the dark. Like I sleep with a nightlight still. Like it's terrifying. It's scary, okay? Judge me. I don't care. She was like, "What is this issue?" And I was like, "I've been afraid of it forever." And she said, "Okay." And then she started to tell me about how there have been past lives where I have been a prisoner and been in darkness for a long period of time where all I heard was screams, killings, really bad things happening around me, but I couldn't see anything. And she said that because of that past life, that's why now, in however many lives later, I am afraid of the dark. And she said that you have to realize that there's nothing bad in the dark. Nothing can get you, even if there are paranormal things or demons or whatever it may be. Nothing can hurt you because it is just energy. And so it was like a bunch of things like that. Like she would bring up like, "This is an issue you have, like what do you think it is?" Or she would just tell me what she thought it was. Like sometimes she wouldn't even ask, she would just talk. I thought it was interesting because at one point she said that there is a parallel timeline that is messing with my life. The multiple universe theory, it's a thing, you can look it up. Like it's science that there are different universes out there that are different from you, but it is you, and like different things happen. And she said that there was one in particular of my life, running parallel to mine, that was interfering with my life here. And so she cleared that. I wish she would have told me more because I'm very interested in parallel timelines. It's all very interesting to me. I don't know exactly what aspect of that parallel timeline was interfering with mine. I don't know why. I don't know like what it was, but she got it out of there. She did a lot of work clearing out like my sinuses. She told me that there are a lot of issues with like my childhood. I don't remember everything that was said because in Reiki, the healer basically just talks the entire time. Sometimes she asks you questions and she does encourage that if something comes up, you do say it, but it is like 99% her talking and then like 1% you talking. I really can't think of anything else like important that she said to me. I don't know. How she knew so much by just putting her hands on my forehead. There's more that I'm like not saying because either one, I don't remember it, or two, it's personal. She knew so much about me, and although I have known her for a long time, I'm very introverted. I don't share my personal life with like many people. In real life, online, I don't really care that much, but I'm very quiet and reserved in person. I don't really share things with people, so the fact that she knew them was very validating for me. Something cool that did happen was while I was sitting there like with my eyes closed, I kept seeing colors and objects. She would say something and then like this flash of just like green, like bright green would just like fill like my eyes, but my eyes were closed, so I was just seeing them in the dark. Like, okay, so if your eyes are closed, in like the darkness, it would just be colors instead of black. Black is what like you usually see when you close your eyes. Obviously, Ashley, that's so stupid. It would be like red sometimes, purple, like sometimes I would see like swirling colors or just like a splotch of purple come out of orange, One time I saw an eye, like as if I was looking into somebody's eye, an eyeball, like not a color eyeball, just like a detailed like eye. This much of somebody's eye just like popped into my vision. It was just right up here while my eyes were closed. Things like that happened 3 times during the hour and a half. I did feel like my body kind of like, it was like I shifted, like I don't know how else to say it, but it was like as if I was like being dragged out of my body towards like the left or the right, and then I would come back. And one of those times was when she brought up the parallel universe. I felt like I was shifted this way and then brought back, which it was like a cool feeling, but I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just me thinking, I don't know, but I was just laying there relaxing, and then that happened 3 times. But yeah, afterwards I was done. She kind of went over what was gonna happen afterwards. She said that I cleared a bunch of crap, her words exactly, and that I probably wasn't going to feel the best. And that's really all she said. She was like, you might get a little bit of a headache and you might feel a little bit crappy, but it'll be okay because you'll feel better later. And I was like, okay. She did not tell me the half of how I would feel. Oh my God. I went home. I had a little bit of a headache, like after I left. I ate some chocolate. I felt better. I went to dinner with my family and Alex. The entire time, the lights in that restaurant were like really, really bad, so I think that didn't help. But I sat there and my headache started to get worse. It wasn't until I got home and laid on the couch that it started to become like splitting. Like it felt as if my skull was gonna break in half because of how much pressure was in there. It is the worst headache I've ever had in my entire life, and I'm not exaggerating. It was so bad. It just felt like somebody was like just chipping away at my head. It hurt so bad. As I was like sitting at the restaurant, I ate some kind of like chicken. I couldn't finish it. I wasn't hungry anymore, even though like I felt hungry. So I went home. I tried to drive home, but because my headache was so bad, I made Alex drive the rest of the way. I tried to take Advil for my headache. It didn't work. It didn't help. When I was laying on the couch, I felt so nauseous that I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go lay in bed. So I laid in bed. I literally laid on my side for 1 second, sat up, ran to the bathroom, and then threw up 4 times. And at this point, I'm like, my chicken was bad. The chicken that I had was bad. I have food poisoning. I'm gonna be throwing up tomorrow. I'm gonna be throwing up later. But no, I threw up 4 times in that one sitting. Sorry. And that was it. And then I felt better. So my headache went away. I was no longer nauseous. I felt better. I woke up the next morning feeling fine. It wasn't until later in that day that I did get a little bit more of a headache, but after that it went away and I was fine. And I looked it up the next day, and for all those people out there who are gonna comment like nasty things, like yes, it could have all been a coincidence, I looked it up on Google of like effects of Reiki, and people throw up from it. People throw up from Reiki. And they do say that you get a headache, they do say that you feel nauseous, like these are all symptoms of Reiki. I did text Kelly and I was like, I feel like I'm dying. And she was like, I'm going to try to fix your headache from like behind the scenes. She kept saying behind the scenes, it was really kind of cute. Do I feel better now? I don't know. Was it a cool experience? Yeah, it was a cool experience. Will I go back? I'm not sure. I don't know if I ever want to get Reiki done again just because of how bad I felt afterwards, whether that be a coincidence or not, whatever. I think it was the Reiki. I believe that those symptoms were coming from that. Although she did say I would get like a little headache and I ended up getting like a severe freaking migraine. Sorry that this video was just so like scatterbrained and not really that great. I just wanted to share my experience with you. I should have written it down. I really should have written it down. Like I said, it was a cool experience. Will I do it again? Probably not. I don't want to feel like that again. Would I recommend it to anybody else? If you're curious, yeah, Reiki does affect everybody in a different way. I have heard and seen. It might not give you a splitting headache. It might not make you throw up if you are interested in it. If you want to know more about like the things that are bothering you in your life, or maybe why it's affecting you in that way, try it. Why not? I mean, what's like the worst that could happen? I guess that's about it. I don't know how interesting this video was. I hope it was interesting. I really wanted to tell you guys about it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to follow me on any other social media, my links are all in the description. Follow me if you want. If you don't want to, that's totally fine too. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye everybody. Was I in focus that entire time? I don't think I ever focused myself. I don't know.